I'm Alexa Schwerha with Campus Reform, and you're watching 5 Big Questions. Today, I am so excited to sit down with Emily Schneller. She is the author of a new book called Misled: How the Pro-Abortion Message Deceives Young Americans. The book is available on Amazon and attempts to dispel common pro-abortion arguments from the perspective of a young American. Emily, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. So can you tell us why you decided to write this book?
So I started writing it probably my second year of college. I went to a really small private Christian college in Montana, and I was in a psychology class and was just going through my textbook studying for a test one day and came across like a full page article that discussed abortion. It was kind of a personal story. A couple was considering abortion because they were told by their doctor that their child could potentially have Down syndrome, and the husband in the picture just had a really disturbing quote that said something to about a Down syndrome child and how it should be shot like a horse that's broken its leg, and said something to the effect of a lame horse dies slowly, and it made that comparison. And I just thought it was really awful. And so that was pretty eye-opening to me. And I guess I just kind of figured that as long as I was being exposed to that kind of thing in a textbook at a really small school, then I'm sure there are others across the country that are having similar experiences. So I just kind of decided to start reaching out to students across the country and just getting their takes and seeing if there really is an issue with abortion being promoted through schools, especially. And so I guess that's just kind of how it started.
And your book does come in the wake of Roe v. Wade being overturned last June. What are you hearing from other college students about this issue?
So I had actually originally written most of the book before that big change happened. Um, but my thinking is just that it's so important to know how abortion was being promoted before that change occurred, because it's only going to continue. The marketing's going to continue. It's in schools. It's on social media, especially. And so, because before Roe v. Wade was overturned, on social media, there were advertisements, promoting abortion by telling girls, underage girls, that this is where you can go get an abortion. This is how you should do it, without parental consent, and kind of providing those steps. And I just really expect to see that to continue now that Roe v. Wade is overturned. I'm sure there's going to be advertisements about how women can find abortions in states that do still allow it. And I have talked to plenty of other students and young people who have glanced through my book and have said, "Oh yeah, like I remember seeing these advertisements on social media," or "I have had similar experiences in my schools."
Now, when you were doing this research for your book and you were talking to college students all across the nation, what did you find most shocking?
I would say just the overall acceptance of it. It's so common for professors to promote it in classes, or have, even if it's just Planned Parenthood stickers in on their doors or in their windows, and it really is just very accepted and talked about in classrooms. But it's so often that just the students in general, in every class, they're not super educated about it, and so they tend to side with the pro-abortion narrative. And I would say that that's really common.
And what do you think that pro-life students can do to try to shift this culture on campus?
I would say that it starts with the individual, and that it's just so important to do your best personally to educate yourself on the issue, so that when this topic does come up, you know how to respond to it with factual information. And it's just important to talk to your friends and have a presence on social media. The end of my book really does focus on social media and how abortion is marketed that way on Snapchat, especially. A couple years ago, it was really heavily used to push abortion. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that's the best way to do it.
And my final question for you, what impact do you hope that your book has for its readers?
So I mean, I would say it's kind of a twofold answer. I really hope that young people do read it and that they're aware of how abortion is marketed and promoted in their schools and on social media. So I'm hoping it serves as kind of a warning in that regard. But I also hope that parents read it. I think that's so important because, especially with social media, I mean, young people have all of this information at their fingertips and they're susceptible to so much. And parents just really aren't aware of that. They don't know what their kids are seeing online. And in order to combat the issue, they really need to understand what's going on.
Emily, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.